It's funny. Just the other day, I was ordering groceries online,
Mm-hmm.
and it suggested that I add avocados to my cart. And I was like, come on, I love guacamole. But it
Right,
got me thinking, like, AI is already such a part of our everyday lives.
right,
But what happens when it's not just suggesting snacks, but it's making decisions about jobs,
right,
healthcare,
right.
even like global conflict, you know?
Absolutely.
So that's what we're deep diving into today. This is the
Yeah.
incredible potential and also the very real concerns surrounding AI.
That's right. It's a fascinating time to be exploring this, really is, because AI is evolving so rapidly.
Exactly.
Things that seem like science fiction just a few years ago are now
Right.
becoming, a reality.
And you've provided a really interesting mix of sources for this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've got news articles about AI's impact on different industries, research papers on algorithmic bias,
Yeah.
even a thought-provoking piece on the future of warfare.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, where do we even begin to unpack all this?
Well, I think since you mentioned that grocery suggestion,
Yeah.
let's talk about data. One of the most fundamental things to understand about AI is that it learns from data.
Right.
Massive, massive amounts of it.
Right.
And that data often is a reflection of our own society, warts and all.
So you're saying if AI is trained on data that already contains biases,
Yeah,
the AI is going to be biased too.
exactly.
This is what's called algorithmic bias, right?
Precisely.
Yeah.
Okay. One of your sources highlights this with facial recognition technology.
Hmm.
If the system is primarily trained on images of certain demographics, it might struggle to accurately identify individuals from other groups.
Yeah, it's like that saying, garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
But with real-world consequences in this case.
Absolutely.
So what's being done to address this?
Well, there's a lot of research going on right now focused on developing techniques to detect and mitigate bias in algorithms. One approach is creating more diverse data sets so the AI is exposed to a wider range of examples.
That makes sense.
Another is using what we call algorithmic transparency,
Okay.
essentially making the decision-making process of the AI more understandable to humans.
So we can understand what's going on.
Yeah, so it can kind of look under the hood.
Yeah, see how the sausage is made.
Exactly. I like that analogy.
That actually leads into another key concern, privacy.
Yeah,
AI needs data to function.
huge amounts.
But that data is often about us, our behaviors, our preferences.
Absolutely.
As we go further down this AI rabbit hole, how do we make sure that individuals have control over their data and how it's used?
It becomes increasingly important, that's for sure.
One of the sources mentioned GDPR in Europe.
Right,
That's their big data protection regulations, right?
right, that's right.
Is that the kind of thing we need more of?
It's definitely a step in the right direction.
Oh.
It gives people more rights regarding their data, like the right to access it, correct it, or even erase their information. Whether similar regulations will be adopted globally
Yeah.
remains to be seen. But the conversation about data privacy is definitely heating up,
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
It feels like every time I download a new app, there's like a mile-long user agreement.
I know, right?
I just click accept. I don't even read it.
Who does?
But maybe we need to be more mindful of what we're agreeing to.
I think so.
Speaking of control, another area where AI raises some serious questions is in warfare.
Mm-hmm.
You included an article about autonomous weapons.
Yeah,
And I got to be honest, just reading the headline kind of gave me chills.
I bet.
Is this something we should be genuinely concerned about?
It's definitely a topic that sparks a lot of debate.
Yeah.
Imagine weapon systems that are capable of selecting and engaging targets without direct human intervention.
Right.
One of your sources highlighted this concept of meaningful human control,
Okay.
essentially ensuring that humans retain ultimate authority over the use of force, even with AI in the mix.
Because if a machine makes a mistake, who's accountable?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
What's to stop this technology from falling into the wrong hands?
Right. And that's a huge concern.
It feels like we're wading in some pretty murky ethical waters here.
Absolutely. There are major concerns about the potential for accidental harm,
Of course.
unintended consequences,
Mhm.
and even the possibility of AI systems being used for malicious purposes.
So what can be done? Are there any international agreements or guidelines in place or being developed to try to prevent this whole AI arms race?
There are ongoing discussions at the international level
Okay.
about the ethical and legal implications of autonomous weapons.
Okay.
Some experts and organizations are calling for a preemptive ban on such systems,
Okay.
arguing that the risks are simply too high.
Okay, so we've talked about AI potentially being biased, being a threat to our privacy,
Right.
and potentially making, life or death decisions on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Are there any positive applications of AI we can talk about?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because at this point, I'm feeling a little uneasy.
Yeah, let's shift gears then and
Yeah.
explore some of the potential benefits.
Please.
You've also included some sources that highlight AI's promise in healthcare,
Okay.
which is an area where we're already seeing some amazing advancements.
Okay, good, because I could definitely use some good news right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so healthcare, where do you see AI making the biggest difference?
One area that has immense potential is personalized medicine. Imagine treatments tailored to your specific genetic makeup, your lifestyle, even your environment.
Wow.
AI can analyze vast amounts of data, identify patterns, and predict which therapies will be most effective for you.
So it's like having a doctor who knows you inside and out.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
No more one-size-fits-all medicine.
Exactly.
One of the articles that you shared talked about AI already being used to diagnose certain diseases, sometimes even better than human doctors.
Right. AI is really good at analyzing images like X-rays and MRIs.
Yeah, interesting.
It can detect subtle patterns that might be missed by the human eye,
Yeah.
leading to earlier and more accurate diagnoses.
And in some cases, that early detection can be life-saving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this reminds me actually of a friend of mine who was diagnosed with skin cancer.
Mm-hmm.
It was caught early thanks to an AI-powered screening tool.
Mm.
And thankfully, she's doing great now.
That's great to hear.
It's really encouraging to hear about these real-world applications of AI
Yeah.
that are already making a difference.
Absolutely.
What about other areas of healthcare? Are there other areas where AI is being used?
Yeah, drug discovery is another field that's being revolutionized by AI.
All right, okay.
Traditionally, developing new drugs has been a time-consuming and expensive process, but AI can accelerate this by analyzing massive data sets of molecular structures
Yeah.
and identifying potential drug candidates much faster.
So AI is helping us find new cures faster.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Okay, this is definitely helping to balance out some of those AI anxieties that we were talking about earlier.
I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Mm-hmm.
The key is in how we choose to develop and utilize it.
Right. It all comes back to human choices.
Exactly
We
right.
can't just blindly trust these algorithms.
Nope.
We have to be thoughtful about how we integrate AI into our lives.
Absolutely.
Speaking of integrating AI, another area you wanted to discuss was education.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how can AI help us learn better?
Well, imagine a world where every student has access to a personalized tutor
Okay.
that adapts to their individual learning style and pace.
Yeah.
AI can make this a reality. It can analyze a student's strengths and weaknesses and create customized learning plans.
That's incredible.
It can also provide immediate feedback and support, help students stay engaged and motivated.
So instead of one teacher trying to, cater to 30 different students
Right.
with different needs,
Yeah.
AI can step in and provide more individualized attention.
That could be especially helpful for students who are struggling
Absolutely.
or who learn differently.
Yeah, and it can help to address educational inequities.
Oh.
AI can provide access to quality education for students in remote or underserved communities,
Yeah.
bridging the gap that often exists in traditional education systems.
This is starting to sound like AI could be the key to unlocking a golden age of learning.
I think it has that potential.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is, but it's not just about individual learning.
Okay.
AI can also be used to improve the entire education system.
How so?
Well, think about all the data that schools collect. AI can analyze this data to identify trends, optimize resource allocation, and even predict student outcomes.
Okay.
This can help educators make more informed decisions and create a more effective learning environment
For everyone.
for everyone.
Okay, we've covered healthcare, education, all very positive applications. But what about the elephant in the room?
Jobs.
Jobs, yeah.
A lot of people are worried about AI taking their jobs.
Right.
Is that a valid concern?
It's a complex issue, and it's natural to have concerns.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that some jobs will be automated as AI technology advances.
Yeah.
We're already seeing this in manufacturing, transportation, even in certain white-collar professions.
Right, like self-driving trucks potentially replacing truck drivers,
Yeah,
or AI assistants taking over some administrative tasks.
exactly.
Those are pretty concrete examples.
Absolutely.
It's not hard to see why people are worried.
Right. And it's important to acknowledge those concerns,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's also crucial to emphasize that AI will create new jobs as well.
Okay.
We'll need people to design, develop, implement, and maintain these AI systems.
Yeah.
We'll need data scientists, AI trainers, ethicists.
Wait, hold on. AI trainers. What's that?
AI trainers are essentially the teachers of the AI world. They work with algorithms, feeding them data, fine-tuning their parameters, and essentially teaching them how to perform specific tasks.
Interesting.
It's a rapidly growing field, and it requires a unique blend of technical skills and domain expertise.
Okay, so there will be new jobs, but are those jobs accessible to everyone?
Right.
Will a truck driver who loses their job to automation easily transition into becoming an AI trainer?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Seems like a big leap.
You're right to raise that point. It's not just about jobs disappearing and new ones appearing.
Yeah.
It's about ensuring that people have the skills and opportunities to navigate this changing landscape.
Yeah.
Education and retraining programs will be absolutely crucial.
So it's not so much AI versus humans,
Right.
but about AI working with humans,
Exactly.
kind of like a hybrid workforce.
Yeah, we need to be thinking about how to leverage AI to augment human capabilities,
Yeah.
not replace them entirely.
Well.
Imagine doctors using AI as a diagnostic tool to improve their accuracy.
Yeah.
Or architects using AI to generate innovative designs.
Yeah.
Or musicians using AI to create new soundscapes. I mean, the possibilities really are endless.
I like that perspective. It's not about, fearing the robots. It's
Yeah.
about figuring out how to collaborate with them.
Exactly. And perhaps most importantly, it's about ensuring that AI is used ethically and responsibly to benefit society as a whole, not just a select few.
Okay, I'm feeling a little more optimistic about the future now.
Good.
We've talked about AI's potential in healthcare, education,
Yeah.
and even in reshaping the job market.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another area you wanted to explore, and it's a big one. AI's impact on the planet.
AI and the planet. Yeah, this is a big one.
This feels especially relevant with all the climate change news lately. I mean, where do you see AI fitting into all of this?
Well, you could think of AI as a powerful tool for environmental monitoring and analysis. Imagine AI algorithms analyzing satellite imagery to track deforestation patterns in the Amazon rainforest, or monitoring ocean temperatures to predict the intensity of hurricanes.
So it's like giving scientists a super-powered magnifying glass to really understand what's happening
Exactly.
on a global scale.
And it's not just about monitoring.
Okay.
AI can also help us to predict and mitigate the effects of climate change.
Okay.
For example, AI can be used to optimize energy grids, reduce waste, and promote the use of renewable energy sources.
One of the sources mentioned AI being used to design smarter, more energy-efficient buildings.
Yeah, that's right.
That's pretty cool.
And AI is even being used to develop new materials that are more sustainable and environmentally friendly.
Wow.
Think about biodegradable plastics or building materials that actually capture carbon from the atmosphere.
Okay, so AI can help us understand the problem, predict the impacts, and even develop solutions.
Yeah,
That's a lot of potential.
it is.
But let's be real. I mean, developing and using AI itself requires energy. Are we just creating another problem while trying to solve one?
That's a valid concern. It's important to consider the environmental footprint of AI development and deployment.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is that there's a growing focus on making AI more energy efficient.
Okay.
Researchers are developing algorithms that require less computing power, and companies are investing in data centers that run on renewable energy.
So it's like a balancing act.
Yeah.
Maximizing the benefits of AI for sustainability while minimizing its own environmental impact.
Exactly. And it's a reminder that we need to be thoughtful and intentional about how we develop and utilize AI.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive,
We have.
from the ethical challenges to, like, the mind-blowing possibilities. And it feels like we barely scratched the surface.
I think that's right. The field of AI is constantly evolving.
I know.
What we know today might be completely different in a few years.
Which is why it's so important to stay informed
Yes.
and engaged in the conversation.
Absolutely.
At the beginning of this deep dive, I was feeling a bit overwhelmed.
I understand.
Maybe even a little scared, honestly.
Yeah.
But now, honestly, I'm feeling a sense of hope.
I think that's a great place to end our conversation.
Yeah.
AI isn't this predetermined force that's going to control our future.
Right.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, its impact depends on how we choose to use it.
We've seen that AI has the potential to perpetuate existing biases,
That's right.
but it can also help us to create a more just and equitable world.
Absolutely.
It can threaten our privacy, but it can also empower us with knowledge and personalized experiences.
Hmm.
It can disrupt industries and displace jobs, but it can also create new opportunities and a more sustainable future.
It's all about how we use it.
The key takeaway here is that the future of AI is not set in stone.
It's true.
It's being shaped right now
Right now.
by the choices we make, the conversations we have,
Hmm.
the regulations we put in place.
Absolutely.
We need to be active participants in this process, demanding transparency, fairness, and accountability
Hmm.
from those developing and deploying these powerful technologies.
Couldn't agree more.
So what can our listeners do to be a part of this conversation?
Stay informed.
Okay.
Read about AI, attend events, engage in discussions,
Mhm.
ask questions, challenge assumptions, and don't be afraid to voice your concerns.
Yep.
The more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to shape its development in a way that benefits all of humanity.
It's like we have this incredible opportunity and
Incredible.
responsibility
Yeah.
to guide AI towards a positive future, to ensure that it's used to create a world where everyone has the chance to thrive.
I think you've summed it up perfectly. The future of AI is in our hands. Let's make it a good one.